Hello everybody. I'm wearing a new mic, so if things don't go right, just let just know that I'm trying out something new. I'm also sorry about the glare that's in my glasses. It just is what it is. But I came on here because I found out something that's kind of concerning. It's pretty alarming. As early as last night, some nurses were doing on Instagram and they were also on other social media sites asking, did your EMR go down? Did anybody else notice that? And for people who don't know, it's the electronic medical record. So that's how we access all of our patient information. That's how you see your orders from your doctors. That's how you get messages from pharmacy. It's really how you do everything to provide great care for your patients. So people were messaging last night trying to figure out if anybody else had experienced this or this was just their, hospital specific or their site, their medical site specific. And then we come to this morning where airplanes are being grounded, where there's a lot of medical facilities that are not able to do their work with computers. Now, there are, of course, other ways that you can do the work, but still you're not able to access it electronically. So I went to look further into this, and it appears that Microsoft is having some problems. Their systems are down, and I believe specifically it's like the Azure cloud system. So it appears that overnight they were updating something it's a cybersecurity company called CrowdStrike. They were updating, and as it was updating, it did basically what I am going to call right now the blue screen of doom. I think that's what I can say here. So the blue screen of doom, it's essentially basically when you're doom scrolling, it's the same idea, like where you keep going on and on and on. It kept trying to reboot on and on and on, and then crashed out Microsoft essentially. And Microsoft has spoken out about this. They have said that it is not a cyber attack, that it was just a bad upload or a bad update. It was defective. So they said that they've identified the issue, they have deployed a solution, and hopefully it'll be fixed soon, but they do not know when or the time frame for that fix to be happening. I'm reserving all thoughts and opinions on that until after more information comes out. I definitely will update you as the situation continues. But I also want to take a moment to talk about something else. As I've been watching things that have been going on here and things that have been going on overseas, if we look at history, we know that if there's outbreaks of civil fighting, we'll go with fighting. I don't know if YouTube allows other words, but if there's outbreaks of civil, we'll just go with it. If there's an outbreak of civil war or other countries are fighting, eventually, for some reason, it comes to our front door because we definitely get involved and are already involved in some of these situations. So I'm saying all this to say that I think that there's just little things that keep happening that are just kind of a sign of the times. I'm not saying any of this because people should be worried, but I'm saying that don't be distracted, be vigilant, question everything. This is definitely not a time. It's great to participate in your favorite distraction, and our favorite distractions for some reason in America are celebrities. It's possible that in other countries that's also their favorite distraction, but it's fine to listen to new music. It's fine to, be entertained and, excited about these things. But while you're being entertained, make sure that you are not being distracted. There's so many things going on in the world right now, so many things going on right here. Pay attention to what's going on in your hometown, what's going on in your city. So many changes that are happening and that are coming. And I think that there are so many people that they find this false security in our leadership, and they're so gaslightable that they're really not thinking for themselves and thinking about how things could turn out. I'm saying all this so that you can get prepared. The worst that can happen if you get prepared and nothing happens is that you're still prepared. Like you still have all the preparations in hand and everything, and you've still been paying attention. The worst that can happen when you're not prepared is everything. Like that's when your stress comes in, when the worry, the anxiety comes in, and basically the survival instincts must kick in because you haven't prepared for anything. I, again, am not saying to be worried, and I know that this might sound to some people who are very programmed, this might sound a little far-fetched, a little crazy, because this is just one computer issue. But if you look at the big picture of everything that's been happening, even over the course of the last few years, it's almost like there's this tension buildup. And I was watching a creator talk about the project, and he was mentioning how these things have not just, they're not just happening just now. Like this is not a new idea. It's been a slow build. Humans are, and I agree with that, to start with that, Humans are very circular. For some reason, we love the illusion of change, but we don't actually like to make big changes. We want to dress up the thing that we're currently doing and just, run with that. Like what we do, even as our leadership does as well. As humans, we love to look the part. And then when the time comes to actually be that thing and to need the strength that goes with being the actual thing, being the actual change, things fall apart because there was never a change anyway. It never existed. Like, eventually once you finish putting your skims on and all that stuff, you got to take all that stuff off. And the reality is still sitting here with you. And this is not against anyone who is, at the size they are desired to be at, because that is your business. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is just an analogy to say that when you try to dress things up, eventually the reality of the situation has to hit. And I'm saying all this to say that humans are circular. We like to go back into our same routines. And I think that for our country, it has been desperately trying to get back. And what's crazy about this to me when it comes to humans, and this is just a lot of wild thinking, but when it comes to humans, is that we already know how it worked out before. Like, it did not work out great before. I think that we just kind of overlooked that. Things have happened. So many things have happened that we kind of forget how it was before. It almost reminds me of, this is like a biblical reference, but like, it's good for life too, for y'all who are not into biblical things. But when the Israelite people were running around for 40 years and 40 nights and whatever, even before that, actually, when they first left Egypt, they were like, man, we had it better in Egypt when we were slaves. Like, the world was so much better. At least we had food to eat. They immediately forgot about how hard it was back then, how they were desperately trying to be free, and immediately were ready to go back into bondage because they weren't familiar with what was happening, and they weren't familiar with being free. And it's kind of the human condition. So anyway, I said all that to say, be prepared, be comfortable with change. It is an uncomfortable situation to change, and it's uncomfortable to be a person to try to enforce change. But change is necessary for growth. If you're doing the same things over and over again, you're really not getting anywhere. You're just going in a circle. There's no progress. There's no evolution. There's just the same status quo. You are stagnant. So I hope that this helps somebody. This is a very odd video for me. Normally I have like a focus that I go for, but this video, I don't know. Hopefully y'all enjoy this. Have a great day, night, or whenever you're watching this, and goodbye. Your daily programming is now complete. It's time to wake up now.